So this is basically where I started last year on the 5th of the 5th. I weighed 71 kilograms. My body fat was at 37.8% and my muscle was at 30%. I started on the Dukan diet last year on the 5th of May, and I want to show you my progress 1 year later. Please keep in mind that I've had a full day of eating already, and I forgot, okay, so there you can see it's the 5th of May, and I forgot to record this earlier this morning. So I want to show you the recording, but I'll share the stats of this morning for you or to you. This is just to show you that I am doing this 1 year later, basically. And then I want to discuss with you if I'm still following the diet strictly, what my eating plan is looking like currently, and how I've adapted my eating plan or the plan to fit my lifestyle. Hi, it's Editing Laura here. I just wanted to add that something else that the Dukan diet taught me is that you should keep track of your progress daily. So when I was busy on the Dukan diet, I did weigh-ins daily. Now I do not do it daily anymore, but I still do it weekly. And if I do see a shift in the wrong direction, then I can correct my actions immediately so that I stay on track or stay with weight that I want to be at. I've put on a gown. It's winter in SA. It's very cold. So all in all, I am quite happy with that progress. If you know anything about dieting, it's very difficult to lose weight and to build muscle at the same time. So I'm very happy about that result. As you might know, I currently try to do walking every day. Not always successful, but the aim is to walk every day. Then I also aim to exercise most days of the week, whether that be weight training or Pilates. So I aim for 3 days of weight training a week, normally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Mondays I work on legs. Wednesdays I work on arms, and Fridays it's a full body session. Then on a Tuesday and a Thursday I normally do Pilates. And all of this I am doing in the comfort of my home. So in the morning I get up, I drink a glass of water, read my Bible. Sometimes I make breakfast or I pack my kids' school lunches beforehand. Other days I do it after. But after the Bible, it's normally, like I said, either the school lunches or I go exercise immediately. I exercise in my pajamas, and then when I'm done with that, then I would go and finish up the lunches if I did not do that before, and then I get ready for the day. So that is my exercise routine. Then with regards to meal planning, I am quite a creature of habit. I have shared a couple of times what I've eaten during the year. And then at the moment, recently, I have started upping my carb intake, but I am doing healthy carbs. So it would be a potato or a sweet potato that I've microwaved. And the only thing that I add on that is some spices that I enjoy. And then normally I would open a can of tuna and I would share the can of tuna with my husband. So I would have potato and half a can of tuna. Or if we don't do tuna, then we will do an egg for the day. So most days it's either egg or tuna as my protein source for lunch, and then potatoes or sweet potatoes as a carb source. Some days when I am in the mood, I will have some bread in place of the potato or sweet potato, but I'm trying to stick to the more whole food based carb for lunchtime. When I do the potato or the sweet potato, it's normally 3, 4, 5 sweet potatoes that I prepare in the microwave, and then I share that between my hubby and myself. So it's quite a filling meal. Like I said, I either spice it with salt or some spices, and then I also would add some apple cider vinegar to the tuna normally. Then with regards to dinner, there's normally not a plan, like a specific plan or idea that I follow. I make food for the family, I eat with the family, but I do try to prepare always some greens. So I normally put some broccoli in the air fryer, and then that would be my source of greens. So part of the Dukan diet, and maybe other eating plans as well, they normally speak about filling your tummy with something that is not a lot of calories or that's not calorie dense. So that's why I do the broccoli or something green beforehand. So I take, for example, I fill my plate maybe quarter, 3/4 full with the broccoli, and then I will have the rest of the meal, or the rest of it would then be with whatever I made for the family. This is not always the case, but that is what I aim for. As an example, for tonight, we had sausage and egg. So I had 3/4 of my plate with broccoli, and then I had the sausage and the egg as the rest of the family, and I had 2 slices of bread with that. But I was still craving something else, so I took a 3rd slice of bread. It's not going to derail the plans totally. And then I also had a cup of coffee. And if you know me, you know that I don't really like coffee, but I felt like having coffee tonight, so I had a decaf Nespresso with some sugar replacement. As part of the Dukan diet, the sugar replacement is one of the items that they advise, so I have stuck to doing that. And I don't normally have sugar in my tea, but for coffee I like a little bit of sweetness. Then that's the one habit that has stuck. Then the other habit that has stuck is we still drink, when we drink cool drink, it's diet cool drink. And then I think one of the other items that also had an effect, and this is something that I've only done recently, is for the pageant, for the competition, I did some body sculpting, and they say that helps you lose centimeters, so that might have also had an influence on maybe my body fat percentage. I'm not too sure on that one, but I did notice some weight loss with that treatment, and I can for sure see that there's a difference in my tummy. So I did the body sculpting, I did on my tummy area and on my thigh area, and I had, let me now think, maybe 4 sessions on the tummy and 4 sessions on the legs as well, or on the thigh area as well. Then with regards to water, I'm still terrible at drinking water. I try, so that's why normally when I wake up I do that glass of water first thing in the morning, so then at least I know I've got 1 glass down, and then I aim my best to have another glass of water during the day. Not always successful, but I do try. Are there any other things that I do or work on? If there is anything else, then I'll add it to the list as I think of it. But for now, that's a year later update of the Dukan diet, how it's going, if I am still following it, and how I am following it, or how I've changed it up to suit me and suit my lifestyle. Okay, let's fast forward to the stats as they currently are. So this morning I weighed in at 62. My body fat was at 29% and my muscle mass was at 33.7. So that means my muscle mass increased by 3% and my body fat went down from 37.8% to 29.6%. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you are curious about the Dukan diet, I will link it in the information card, and I also created a little booklet. If you are interested with a menu plan, comment down below and I will share that with you. I hope you have a lovely day further and see you next time.